The rugby pilgrimage travelled 2 hours north to Burley Rugby Club in Leeds. A proper old school clubhouse and changing rooms. Nice and tight in there. Outside we checked out the pitch and agreed it's one of the slopiest pitches we've ever attempted to play rugby on. I mean, it was ridiculous. Today's opposition, Osset's second team from Wakefield. A special game as we're playing for the Osset Cup. What's the Osset Cup, I hear you cry? Well, there's a bit of a history. Essentially, Burley had been on a long losing streak and finally managed to beat Osset earlier on in the season. To celebrate, they took what they called the breadboard from Osset's clubhouse, drew the Osset badge on it and the scoreline for the day, and took it home with them and paraded it around Leeds city centre. Pretty standard behaviour for a student and social rugby club. Now every time they play, the score gets added and the breadboard goes home with the winners. Osset are current holders after winning their most recent fixture. Now there is a fierce but friendly rivalry that has begun, and we hope that breadboard is around in another 100 years. Now, just in case regular pilgrimage viewers are worried, we did feed the porridge and he did scrummage. McDonald's was his choice of the day. Back to the Osset Cup. Co-captain Alex from Burley's second team described the cup as like the Calcutta Cup but better. And how right he was. After hearing their stories, we couldn't wait to get up there and challenge for the Osset Cup. Let us know in the comments if you've got any local rivalries like this. We love to hear about them. The game started well for Burley with 2 tries in the opening 20 minutes. But this was always going to be expected, slaloming down that black slope. We must mention that Burley's defence was outstanding all day. A true bunch of mates putting in as many tackles as they can. They really wanted to defend and help each other out. Coming up is a great example of the boys' tenacity. They managed to hold the Osset player up here to avoid the try. And you can see they never give up on the tackle here. Pulling, pushing and finally, bash! Now we'd like to get your comments on this one as well. This was given as a penalty for a late tackle. What do we reckon, sports fans? I think he was committed. What do you reckon? Burley attracts students from all over Leeds. But they've also got some old heads sturdy in that ship, so we were quite fearful for the social after the game. Now, we're in the second half here, and although 2 scores to the good, it was Burley's turn to put their climbing gear on and hold on to that lead. Osset pulled one back early, but the Burley boys battled hard. Porridge and Adam both got starts for Burley, but were replaced early in the second half for some fresh legs as that hill took its toll. Now we must mention the referee who recently retired from playing and is now reffing. He couldn't wait for a beer after the game, good lad, fair play. But there were some inconsistencies from him, which you do come to expect at this level. However, he gave an Osset player a red card for a high tackle, left him off the pitch for about 3 minutes, brought him back on the pitch, changed his decision to a yellow card, gave it 1 more minute and then allowed that player back on the pitch. The rugby pilgrimage know better than to slag refs off, but we've never seen that before. Osset got themselves into the lead playing down the slope, but Burley did have a chance to win it with the scores at 17-14. It went right down to the wire. But on this occasion, Osset held out and it wasn't Burley's day. The Osset Cup will be making its way down the motorway to Wakefield. The Pilgrims did their best to help, but it wasn't enough. Congratulations to Osset. As we see the breadboard handed over. Man of the match, pints fairly unimpressive, not happy with those. And a quick lesson to younger players, always have a pint in your hand or you might end up with a dirty one. Burley invited Adam to the famous wall to take part in the sponsor's pint in which he schooled the students, no problem whatsoever. And that was it, time to go home. Thanks very much, Burley.